Oh yeah, I gotta brush my teeth, man. I gotta have a, what I'm saying, a nice white smile.
You're gonna brush your teeth while we're
Mm-hmm.
okay.
There's never a wrong time, man. You know. Mm.
This is Cougar Afterthought Show. I'm with Galen Robinson, who is brushing his teeth right fucking now. He's just brushing
Absolutely.
his teeth.
Absolutely, man. It's
It doesn't
never.
make any sense. Nobody's gonna smell your breath, Galen.
It's all about presentation, though, Ryan. You know.
But presentation is something else. It's what you look like, not what your breath.
See,
Never
see, I
mind.
feel like my breath is fresh, so I can talk some real stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, that was a crazy game, boy. Ooh,
I
gutsy
didn't
win.
notice.
Nah, that was funny guy. That was
Let's go,
that was
Starns. Let's go. Uh, so let's just go into first thoughts. What are your first thoughts about what you saw today and gritting it out and surviving?
I will say that A&M they did come out of the gate with like a different level of intensity. Like they definitely tried to set the tone with their energy for sure. But
To start the game, is
yeah, to
what you're
start the
saying.
game, yeah. But
Okay.
what the storm, we were able to get good shots, not turn the ball over as much. But that in the second half, we were able to make threes, and then it got to a point where we stopped making them, and they went on their little run, and it's like that little zone that they were in. It kind of became a factor, and it kind of messed up the rhythm of our offense, and it kind of looked like we were just real stagnant. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what hurt us, and that's why they were able to keep, because our rhythm, they had the momentum going their way.
So you've seen this stagnation a few times over the last couple of years. It was the most prevalent is Alabama last year, right? You let a 16-point lead slip away. Today,
Mm,
you let a 21-point lead slip away. I don't think they ever gave up the lead. I think
yeah,
they A&M tied it, but I don't think they ever gave up the lead. Uh, that kid can shoot.
yeah.
Wade Taylor the fourth. I always like a fourth.
Yeah.
You have a kid. You're a junior, right? So
Yeah.
you got two more to go until we get to a fourth. Uh,
Nah, he was going crazy. But it's like he was able to he was coming off screen, splitting them, getting in the paint. And once you see when you're a guy like that who has the ultimate green light, once you have a little bit of success, it kind of your confidence is through the roof. And then you see a couple
yeah.
of threes go in, and it's just like Pandora's box. It opens, and it's his team. They fed off of that. Whenever you're making shots, it's always good to feed off of that type of energy. But yeah, hats off to him. He definitely put on a show for real. Like I was just kind of he was real crafty. Like it just
Yeah.
he was real deceptive with his eyes. Like it was one play at the top of the key. He passed it. Looked like he just his everything about him was facing this way. Boom, went back this way. Got a shot off. And there was just enough. He got just enough space from Jamal to get it off, and it went in. But like yeah, he's a real crafty, smart dude.
So Buzz Williams in the post game said that they were trying to do things like that, be crafty, kind of be sneaky with it. But at some point, everybody knows who's shooting it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so you've got to be on top of that. Kelvin said that A&M basically abandoned their offense and
yeah.
just gave it to number four. Like,
Yeah.
just go do your thing. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, but it really worked today. Uh, I mean, he hit some just straight up daggers. Just you thought U of H was going to crumble a couple times, and then Emmanuel freaking Sharp comes up with a big 3-pointer. He hits 2 free throws at the end of the game. Uh, that's a guy that you've loved his shot for a while and kind of liked what he's about, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I knew this year was going to be a big year for him, and it was like I forget at which point in the game where I was like I think he was like 3 of 10 from three, and I was like, I hope he doesn't stop shooting. Like keep shooting, keep shooting. And sure enough, he did, and like he was able to hit a big one, and then obviously make two clutch free throws. But I'm definitely happy for him, and I was glad he was able to stay with it because as a shooter, when the shot's not falling at the rate that you want it to, you got to shoot yourself out of those slumps. You got to keep shooting. So I was glad he was able to stay resilient, and that helped us come out victorious.
We're going to look at a comment or two. I've got one for you. He's the Godfather, not E.E. Cummings. You better get that name capitalized.
I don't even know who E.E. Cummings is.
That was the whole question: is do you know who E.E. Cummings is? And I knew,
it sounds like I
knew. There you go.
Oh,
he is.
Okay, cool.
So our new branding, we're not capitalizing things, right? It's just going to happen. We're doing it with everything. So y'all need to just deal with it. It's not a big deal. That was what we went with, and Galen too.
He said,
deal with it. It'll be all right. E.E. Cummings, they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Galen, it's part of his contract. He doesn't get it capitalized. But thanks, Rusty, for that. This is a good question. How would you have guarded Wade Taylor?
I wouldn't have let him get off his shots. I feel like Jamal, he definitely did a good job, but it's like when a guy like that is having success, and you kind of want to cut his water off completely, you might tend to gamble a little bit. So it was a couple of possessions where he kind of gambled, and
especially late.
Yeah, late, and it's just like kind of got himself out of position, and it's like obviously I know what he's thinking, but it's just like sometimes you have to kind of trying to hold back from doing that, just because if you don't come out, if you don't steal the ball, then it can end up hurting you, and it's like it ended up hurting us. But when the guy's making shots like the last three he made, it was like his feet he shot it like he was like running, and it's like when the guy's having one of those types of nights, it's just all you can do is just contest and live with the results. And I thought that Jamal did a good job of contesting, even though certain times he was out of position, but it's just like that was just a good player making some good plays.
Do you see who this was that asked that question? That's Jonathan Laredo, the student manager, the head student manager for this team. He's asking you questions on the live stream.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Wade Taylor would have had that type of. I would have stuck to him like white on rice.
Oh, so you would have been better? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I would have been better, but it's just like I would have did my best to not let him get off a shot. Like he wouldn't have been.
How do you do that? What could you have done to get him to the point where he can't even get off a shot?
I feel like a lot of like defense is just anticipation. And it's not really something that you can teach anyone. It's more so like a feel that's acquired. So it's just like I just have a feel for like what somebody is about to do, especially a guard like that. But like I said, I'm not saying I could have did a better job, because when those types of guys are having that type of night, there's not really much you can do. Good offense beats good defense any day of the week. But yeah, he was just a good player making some good plays.
Another question. Why do you kids do the phone where it's like this instead of like this? You're all messed up. Yeah, but your entire generation does that, and I don't understand. Yeah. So Terrence Arsenault.
Yeah.
Kelvin says most likely tore his Achilles on a non-contact. I mean, that's just brutal. Terrence was starting to come around. He was starting to put it together. He had bulked up and, put on some size, and his rebounding had started really coming around.
Yeah.
And then just freak accident, and you hate to see it. I mean, this is right around the same time, like 2 years ago, when Marcus and Tremont Mark went down.
I do feel like like an Achilles, like an injury of that sort, I feel like this is probably the first time that we may have had an injury in our program since we've had Coach Bishop, just because he does an amazing job with I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody's ever, I can't recall, but he does a good job with injury prevention in the weight room. And that's why, because of Bishop, he does a good job of like developing guys like evenly. Like you're not you're getting your whole entire body is getting stronger, you know. So,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, that's hate to see that. I was really looking forward to him taking a big jump this year, and I definitely noticed, you know, his growth as far as like him looking like a man, you know, like he looked a lot more athletic, and
Yeah.
I was excited to see him in Big 12 play. But you know, I know he's gonna have a great rehab team around him, so I wish him the best of luck getting healthy.
Yeah. Um, there was speculation that it was an ankle early on,
I wish it
but then
was.
John Houston did not go back and work on him. It was pretty much like hand him off, and I thought that was a really bad sign
Yeah,
because if you know it's an Achilles or you think it's an Achilles, then there's nothing you can do. There's not a amount
no,
of stretching or
nothing,
rubbing or anything.
nothing.
Um, and obviously Bishop does a great job. Oh, there's Starns Leland
Hey,
joining from the
What up,
Cougar
big
and from
dog?
the GoCougs.com. Uh, and so Bishop does a great job, but even if you train the right way and you do it evenly,
Yeah, there's certain
an
things
Achilles is
you
just
can't
going to
be.
happen,
Yeah, there's
right?
certain things you just can't prevent. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
heartbroken. It's tough, especially because it seemed like we
Oh, are
were
you just
hearing.
going to jump in now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good for you.
It seemed like, we were hearing things that, like, it felt like he was really getting ready to start to come on, and he was
You
getting
already
better
said
every
that.
game. Sorry.
This Starnes Leland this week interviewing Kellen, just going to town, doing his thing. Galen, of course, the Godfather with those jackets. Man, I love those jackets. And Ryan, born in the 70s,
Come on,
had
that's a
better
mullet.
hair.
God damn, go back to that. Yo, that's crazy. I've
I'm
never
going to
seen
tell you something, son. I'm going to tell you something.
You like a mature young boy.
I was an adult from the time I was born. Like I was an angry old man from day one.
That's crazy. A
And I
mullet.
had the
That is
mullet,
insane.
and that's a Ralph Lauren shirt, right? So I had the whole thing going. I was the only kid in the world that wanted short hair, and my parents wanted long hair. Nobody did that, but this is what I got stuck with.
That's
You thank you,
crazy.
mother. Appreciate that. Uh, so, anyways, Starnes is here. The TA thing sucks. That's such a good dude, and I mean, he was ready to pop. Uh, Starnes Jonathan commented on the stream a minute ago. You aren't here, and things are working out for the good guys. Do you think U of H will move up in the AP poll? I'm going to say no because you let a 21-point lead evaporate. Now,
But
there
they
was a
won.
loss ahead of you. Arizona lost, I think, today. It was hard to figure anything out. The Wi-Fi sucked at Toyota Center. I'm not a fan of Toyota Center. Give me Fertitta every day of the year. I don't think you go up, Starnes. Do you?
Um, I think they probably need another loss to do that.
Yeah.
It looked like they were gonna move up after that first half, and towards the second half, they were playing as well as they had all year. But then it all came sort of crashing down a little bit. You guys, I was listening to you guys. You guys mentioned the Alabama game. It looked exactly like that to me.
Yeah,
And
they really did. And because Alabama abandoned their offense too,
yeah,
and
Sometimes
they they
when there's nothing flowing, you just have to and just hope for the best, you know? So unfortunately,
well,
we've
I
had
think
bad luck.
they noticed they saw that it had happened before. See, we got another background. When we have three people, we got a Galen focused background. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know about moving up in the AP. That does not matter right now.
The
You're
facts,
where
yeah, it
you
doesn't
need to
matter.
be
Yeah.
numbers wise. And Emmanuel told us after the post game. So we go after the game. We go to a press conference. We had to do A&M's first, and that was terrible. And their coach is a little. And
Bud.
then you did U
That's
of
a cool
H's
name
press
though.
conference. It's a great name. Like
Bud.
Skippy would be a better name,
Yeah.
but that's fine. Um, But after the press conference, sometimes players will take additional questions. And Starnes caught the first half, and I caught the second, and we somehow crossed. And Emmanuel was asked, "Do you think a game like this is good? Is it helpful?" And immediately he said, "Hell yeah, yeah, it's very good. It's something we like. You like to be challenged. There is benefit to the kind of games you've played to this point, but there's also benefit to, okay, we got to grow up now." And I think you saw a lot of growth from JoJo Tugler, especially. A lot of people might be down on him, but he did not make the crazy fouls that he's been making, just dumb fouls. I mean, he got 2 in 13 seconds in the first half and ended up with 4, I believe. So he played smart. He played smarter. He came back in the first half after 2 fouls. But I thought he showed some maturity. He struggled sometimes with that split where Wade would split it. He was wide, is what Kelvin said. I thought it during the game. But yeah, Starnes, what did you get out of today? What did you think? What are your highlights?
Yeah, I don't
Takeaways.
know.
That's the word. Takeaways.
I think in terms of the game itself, you think maybe this is whether you feel good or bad out of it. I don't know if you feel either way just from the game itself. You saw them play as well as they had all year, and you also saw them play as bad as they had all year. But at the same time, these games, this kind of game, the Xavier game, the Utah game to some extent, it's better now than later. You're about to go.
Well, it's going to happen later, right?
Yeah, and it's also better that you win doing it, and
that's what I was gonna say. It's always good to have like growth games like this, and you're still able to win because it's always better to learn from like a success. Like the vibe is better. Like it's just it's always better to learn from difficult games when you come out victorious. So I'm glad they won.
Let me ask you something. So tomorrow's a day off, right? They're going to come back Monday, and Kelvin's going to have 36 hours to process. And is that going to be a harder day? Is it going to be an easier day? Obviously, he's going to, the film session is going to be brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But what's that day like?
In my experience,
well, you were there for a while.
Yeah, but it's just like it depends on how it happens. It's not like they were getting beat on just laziness and just bonehead mistakes. It was more so like a good player was making some good plays. And it's just like the shots that I think he was 10 for 22. The shots he was taking, he could have very much been 4 for 22. Like,
yeah,
if those are the type of shots that beat you, you just kind of got to live with that. It's not like our guys were playing lackadaisical. He was just hitting some, and it's like Jamal was on him. Like he was on him. Anybody else probably would have missed those shots. Like if they played tomorrow, he probably doesn't make those same shots. So I mean, it's just I feel like Coach Sampson. One thing that I will admit, he has a great pulse for the team. Meaning it like he kind of knows what they need and knows what they need to learn from games based on what happened. And it's just like a game like that, a guy just kind of catches fire, and it's not like we're just losing them. It's just you just got to live with that at the end of the day.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the guy that played. I don't know a damn thing. Yes, I did grow up in Louisiana. The best way to grow up in the whole wide world. Y'all should try it someday. So in this game, there was a lot of dribble the ball kind of the sides and skip pass it across or throw it across. And Kelvin said that was part of the game plan. Explain to me, Galen, why that is something you'd want to do. And I don't understand, I guess, because they look dangerous to me.
Well, obviously J1, he's an experienced player, and he was the one that was making those cross-court passes. And if you know what they're going to do when the ball enters the post, and you have a guy who's able to pass, it can work to your benefit. And one thing that like Coach Sampson, he used to say that like people would question why he doubles a post on bigs who can't pass, and it's just like, well, why wouldn't I? He can't
Right.
pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we have
Sounds
a
like
guy
the whole
like
reason.
J1 who's smart, who's comfortable in that situation, and who's able to make those reads and knows what he's looking for. Yeah, I don't know why A&M would have doubled him, because that doesn't make sense to me, knowing the type of caliber player he is. But I mean, I'm glad they did, because it helped us build a cushion that helped us win the game.
I'm going to tell you, Starns and I were at practice Thursday, and Jawan was there. He was wearing that leg sleeve that he had on today, but he was not doing his normal post game activities, the shooting drills, the 101. He just stood at the free throw line and missed a lot of free throws, Jawan, a lot. But I thought it's possible he didn't play. And Starnes asked him, and I asked him in private after, and then I asked him again today before the game, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm playing. I'm playing." I was like, I mean, from where he was early in the week to what I saw Thursday, I thought it's possible he doesn't play. And then what does he do? He had 7 assists. He's 3 assists from a triple double.
Could have easily had more.
Yeah.
But Juan, he's a gamer, and like Coach Samp, he always says, pain is an opinion. And it's like once the ball's tipped in the air, you got that adrenaline flowing. You know, you're in the Toyota Center. It's your senior year, number 4 team in the country. It's like, why wouldn't you play? You know, like the adrenaline alone will propel you, you know, to not even feel the pain. But I'm glad he did play, for sure.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some comments real quick. Galen, Damian Dunn is struggling. How do we get them going? Can we get him going? I'll answer the second part. Yes. You answer the first part.
Yeah. It's just gonna come with, you know, the season is full of, for anybody, it's full of highs and lows. And it's just obviously it's a big adjustment for him coming from Temple to Houston, and the demand and what's expected of him every single day. But it's just like when you do something every single day, eventually you're gonna have a breakthrough. It's like it's only when you stop being consistent, that's when nothing is gonna go in your favor. So it's just like he's definitely gonna get over whatever hump or low that he's in. It's just a matter of time. And like
Kelvin was
Dame is definitely a high character kid. I was around him this summer. High character kid, very competitive dude. So it's just like he definitely got a lot of dog in him. So it's just like it's only a matter of time before he picks up what's going on.
And I think Kelvin, after last game or over Zoom, he said that Damien was starting to turn a corner and practice a little bit,
Practice,
really
yeah.
starting to practice better.
That's the first. That's the first step.
Yeah.
So I did a one-on-one with Jamal on Thursday, and I asked him, who's getting better? And without hesitation, he said Damien. I was like, why? He's like, he's starting to put good days together. And I asked him to keep going on that. And he's like, Thursday was his best day in practice. And you can see him starting to build momentum. And Galen, you've told me this before, but you have played with professional teams now, several across a couple of continents. The practices that you have at Houston are not like the practices anywhere else, right?
Correct. Correct.
So
I remember it's just a little weird story. I was just maybe my mind went back to it. But when I was playing summer league my rookie year with the Spurs, there was this guy who was on my team. His name was Thomas Robinson. He went to Kansas. He was like the number 5 pick.
I remember him.
He's a lottery pick. And he was like, "Hey, yo, young fella." He was like, "You going too hard. Just chill." And I was like, "Bro, this is all I know." Like, man, I was like, going from college to professional, it was such a culture shock because I was so used to like going all in practice. I didn't know how not to. You know, like it was that was actually difficult for me to do, but I was able to. I was able to tone it down. But
You managed to chill?
yeah, to chill a little bit. But it's
Okay.
just like in order to be good at Houston, you have to learn to practice because by you getting good at practice, that means you understand the seriousness and the culture. You know, like when you're able to and the importance of having a string of good days together. And Coach Sampson, he always says you have to earn the right to play good. And it was just like whenever somebody had a good practice, they always had a good game. Somehow, some
Okay.
way, that always happened.
Um, I think that's one of the things that people don't understand is that you can learn to shoot free throws better and you can learn to block out a rebound better. But learning to practice is just a foreign concept to most people, right?
Yeah, it's
But I
just
hear it time and time again from y'all that
yeah.
it's a skill set of
It
learning how to practice.
requires a very high level of focus because the demand is so high and the details are so meticulous. Like it really does require a very, very high level of focus to be able to practice with Coach Sampson and be able to string together a series of good days.
That's interesting. That's
Mhm.
you're not getting that on Pod Slamma Jamma. We all feel that way. Terrence a good dude. Uh, I don't think I've ever seen a barrage of threes from one player like this. I asked Starns this question during the game. When was the last time a guy dropped 30 plus on a U of H team? And I just can't remember.
I looked it up. It was Kendrick Davis in the AAC championship.
Okay.
When Marcus Sasser wasn't playing. I don't think
Okay.
it
So
happened.
that game didn't even count. I don't even remember it. I was there. I don't remember it. So that doesn't matter.
Very much, it definitely rarely happens. Oh, Galen, I'm running court with me.
Should have beaten Kentucky.
Man.
You're up 4 with about a minute to play. And I've always blamed you. Just kidding.
You know what's funny though about that? Like I remember like that year, one day me and Monty, we were going to Torchy's in Rice Village. And it was on Shepherd. We didn't go to
Okay.
then
Yeah,
we
why would you go
left.
there?
Yeah, we left. I got some gas and we were just talking like, damn, bro, like we really top 25. And then Monty was like, yeah, bro, that shit kind of crazy. I was like, bro, we really can fuck around and this was probably in like January. And he was like, bro, I was like, we can fuck around and probably beat Kentucky. He was like, oh, my mama, we probably can. And like, it was just crazy.
Did
for
he
us to
say
have that
on my mama?
Yeah, he's still like, yeah, we probably can. And then like, obviously we lost, but it's like, that was definitely like, we definitely had the ability to win that game. And it was kind of just surreal for that to have happened, knowing like the conversation we had. Pretty cool.
Did you know that you were 5-0 versus A&M in your career?
Got to be talking about my daddy. I've never played
It
against
was
him.
Florida A&M,
Oh.
Prairie View A&M 3 times, and Alabama A&M. And this is the kind of research we do here. So yeah, I mean, U of H hasn't played A&M in years. I think Tom Penders was the last time we went to Reed Arena. I remember, and so that would have been 15 years ago. But yeah, so congratulations for your 5-0 career against A&M.
I appreciate that, Ryan. I appreciate that, man.
Anything for you, buddy.
Absolutely.
7 assists. That was pretty good. They said, or Kelvin said, that's how they designed the game plan this week. That was the whole plan. And, you know, they don't tell me these things. They don't tell me he'll be fine, he'll be ready, and he's going to have maybe his career high in assists. Yeah. And I'm thinking the guy's not even going to play because he wasn't moving on Thursday. And
have you thought about asking?
I don't know. Thought about asking what?
If he's going to get 7 assists.
I didn't. I asked if he was going to play. See, I was stupid. I was first level. I didn't go next level.
Yeah. That's the one thing about Coach, man. If like he's so clever with making adjustments, it's like he just sees things from like a different scope. It's actually very impressive.
What do you mean by that?
Like him knowing what someone is going to do, and obviously it was a career night for J1. in terms of assists, but like obviously he practiced with those guys every day. He knows what they're good at, and like being confident enough to in one of your guys to know that he's able to make those plays against at that high of a level against that good of a team. It's just like it really is impressive. And then for that to be the game plan, like that's pretty impressive in my opinion.
So this was a Kellen scout. So he did the scout for this. He's been working on it for 2 weeks.
Mm.
And A&M, I think what was the guy's name that didn't play? Radcliffe? Something like that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Radcliffe. And you couldn't have known that he wasn't going to play. If he does play, I think U of H probably loses this game.
Probably not.
But then maybe it changes how they run offense and
Yeah.
You never know. You can't. I hate when people say that. Well, if this guy, well, you don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Galen, are these jackets vegan? I don't know what that means, but I think it's a great question. And he's talking about the granddaddy, those beautiful jackets.
Vegan?
I'm guessing not.
I'm guessing. I can't guess. I don't even
I mean, that cougar does not look to be vegan to me.
I mean, but that dude wearing it though, that's a good looking dude.
Really? I've never heard you say that.
And I'm just out here just to state my opinion,
Okay. So what we're going to do something, and I was thinking about doing it today, and I just didn't get around to it. I have a couple of those jackets, and we're going to give them away. We were supposed to auction them off last year, and we got a fake bid, and it went to hell.
Damn.
And so we're going to give them away. But here's the problem. They're signed by the entire team from last year, which means 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
And some guys that could really play, and Jawan Roberts. And we're going to figure out a way. We're going to give one away in the next week or two. I don't know. And then we're going to give one away at the start of Big 12 season. Galen, what are your favorite Jordans? I would have never thought to ask you this.
It's kind of like asking me what's my favorite type of music. It depends on how I feel,
Okay.
It could be, but it's like I guess I like ones, threes, 11s. It's depending on whatever day you catch me, man. But definitely ones that are a nice aesthetic for sure.
Starns, your favorite?
Never worn
Have you?
Jordans,
Okay.
So
again, back to Jawan, we were talking last week, and I asked him because he does not practice in the shoes he plays in, and that blows me away. And he was practicing in some crap I've forgotten, but he plays in Zion's, and I don't know anything about. And so I was like, because they're different colors, right? That's how I know the difference. I'm old. I don't know shoes.
I think he practices in Lucas.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Lucas.
I was trying to think numbers, but it's Lucas.
Starns, okay, big dog. Yeah. Attention to
So
detail.
he practiced in Lucas, but then this Thursday he was practicing in a whole different pair. So when you played, or you still play, but when you had like a big Jordan contract that you could depend on, did you practice in a different pair of shoes, or was your gamers you just wore everywhere, like game practice, whatever?
Yeah, it was. There were certain shoes I never wore in the game, and that I always wore to practice. It was like I guess the ones that look the best, you kind of want to save them for when you're on television. And
Okay.
the ones that that you don't look as good, you're able to kind of scuff up and get dirty because you know how practice gets. That shit is like, oh my god. I'm so.
But when somebody's so pretty like you, what does it matter what their shoes look like?
Hey man, as they say, if you look good, you play good. You play good, they pay good, man. So if you feel like your shoes on point, you might, have a nice little. If you just look down and be like, damn, my uniform look clean, my shoes look elite, you might go crazy that night, man.
Okay. Is that real leather, fake leather, faux leather?
It's leather.
There you go. Terrence Arsenault perhaps tore his Achilles in his right leg. They're going to figure it out.
I hope it's something
It
weird.
just felt like it was kind of a foregone conclusion. Maybe you're right.
I didn't even see the play. I just saw him hopping down. I thought he sprained his ankle or something like that.
I really thought it was an ankle.
Are we answering questions from a guy who has Baylor as his?
We've been answering his questions for 3 weeks.
I mean, shit. Come on, brother.
I'm with you.
Have some decorum.
He's asking good questions. This is a terrible question because I don't know a damn thing about Jordans. Michael, he was a good one. So yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Who do you guys think needs to step up if this Terrence Achilles thing is true, which we think it is? Who is it? Malik? Is it Ramon? Because they played 10 guys, but it's really a top 8 that they run.
Yeah.
It's just more so like a next man up kind of joint fulfillment position. An opportunity is definitely going to present itself, and I guess through competition we'll see who takes advantage of that opportunity. But
2 years ago,
you said what?
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I know all of our guys, the work that they put in and how bad they want to succeed. So it's just, I'm excited to see who's that guy, because I remember whenever Marcus and Tremont, whenever they got hurt, that allowed Tajay to flourish, and nobody was expecting him to be able to perform at that. Not that he couldn't, but it was just more so like
they'd never seen it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just like, I'm not saying that might happen at this point with this situation, but I'm just saying that I'm excited to see which guy will be able to take advantage of the opportunity that's presenting itself.
Ramon Walker also stepped up.
For
that team, and he's got a chance to do it now.
Yeah.
You felt really good about your bigs, your 4s, and your 5s, and you lose Terrence, and it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? And it's got to be Ramon, or they only played 8 guys today, and what do you do at that 4 spot, 3, 4? It's rough, and so
Terrence he's a very big wing.
Yeah.
So and there's just a lot of times, like especially late in March, it comes down to matchups. And I can recall like my senior year.
I like when you say I can recall, like you're not 25 years old.
But I'm just saying,
Come on,
it just took me back
in my day.
It took me back to, I remember we were playing Cincinnati, and my matchup was Jerron Cumberland, and he was every bit of 6'6", 230. And it's just like, I'm a good defender, but it's just like I have a cap. Like that's a big dude, and he was just kind of using his size.
I have a cap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know it's hard to believe, but it's just like coach had to make the adjustment to put Nate on him, and Nate 6'4", 6'5", like 215. And it's just like, so it's like losing a guy like Terrence, that can definitely hurt you in March because, a lot of times in March, games are decided by mismatches and what you can attack. And, Terrence has good size at the wing position, great mobility, and he could obviously stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Ain't no cap in my rap, though.
Yeah, I don't understand anything you say sometimes.
Ryan, you a cool dude, man. I don't know if you've been told that before, but you all right, man. You all right, Ryan.
I am an elderly. I am not a cool dude. This is why it's called The Godfather. Galen was the first guy, the first one they focused on, and they brought it in with him. So, yeah.
JC, man. He was my teammate in the AAU. That's crazy. Good old JC. Yeah. Hey, man. Shout out to Coach Sampson for recruiting your boy, man. I hate to make this about me, but one thing Coach Sampson,
What?
No, I'm not.
I hate to make this about me. Says the guy that only talks about him.
No,
Wow.
this is not about me. But this is like one thing that I can appreciate that he did. He didn't say we were gonna win. He told he tells you how you're gonna win. You know, it's like there's a plan,
Okay.
there's a method. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's anybody can talk about winning games because obviously it's easy to say, but it's very hard to do. And it's like he has a plan on how he's going to each and every game. You know, so
And
it's
he
just like
sold you on that in recruiting, right?
absolutely tells me this is how we're gonna win. Like it's real simple formula. It requires discipline, which is hard to do, but it's doable.
Yeah. Galen played way bigger than his size. I look at you and these little arms
You know
to
what's
your
crazy?
right and to your left.
You know my arm span is like 6'6".
Your wingspan?
Yes. So be careful. Be
Okay.
careful talking about my arms, Ryan.
Your length is not what I'm talking about. I mean, they're adorable.
Ryan, you wild, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. I just figured there's not a lot of white guys that can talk shit to you like this. But you're in Orlando and I'm in Houston, and what the hell? What's up, Galen? We'll just have actual conversations between Galen and people that are commenting. I think that
Yeah,
could be
man.
fun.
That's a cool. That's nice. That's a nice little interactive thing you got going, man. That's how did you do that? That's pretty cool.
It's magic. It's the internet. Listen here,
Oh, brother,
Andy Yanez.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry that your show is over and you have nothing else to do on a Saturday night than watch us. I'm going to go have a steak in a few minutes, Andy Yanez. But
Every day.
no, if it's not Frenchie's, it's a steak. It's kind of where we go. That's how my diet is. I'm going to die at 45.
Ryan, how you like your steak, man? You look like a bloody type guy. Like it's medium rare.
That's why they call him the Godfather. Is he does his homework. He understands what's going on. I like a medium rare, big red cut right in the middle.
Man,
I asked. So the team went to I don't even remember the name of it. They went to a steakhouse last year with Mattress Mac, and I asked the guys, "How do you eat your steak?" And none of them had a clue. Oh, however Ryan eats it is, and they were talking about Ryan Elvin, Ryo, not me.
Ryo, yeah.
And was like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And it's like, "Okay, what steak did you have?" It's like, "Come on, guys." And Jamal was like, "It's not dead enough. It needs to be more dead." and likes his really cooked. And I'm going to teach him. I think I have another year with Jawan, and me and him are going to have our own little spinoff. We're going to do a show together, and I'm going to just teach him the ways of the world.
Forgive that young brother, for he knows not what is good for him. My boy is eating a tire. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That boy's ate like it's like, well done. You're going to be chewing that for hours.
Rusty, I'm going to tell you something. If I die by steak, I've lived a great life.
Hey, that's a good.
If that's what kills me.
That's a great death.
Right? I put it on my tombstone. Died by steak. Died by ribeye. This is a question for you, and I'm curious what you think. Would Kelvin be interested in a 7-footer?
I mean, it's not. Who wouldn't? But it's
you don't
like,
say no.
Yeah,
but then you kind of have to tailor everything to a 7-footer,
yeah,
right?
He just has to be able to fit the system, because it's Coach Simpson. He's not like he's not a big like a height guy. Like he's a big heart guy. It's like on my team, we started like it was me, Rob, and Corey. That was the 3 starting guards. That's the average height of 6'1.5". And then we had Devin Davis at 6'5.5", and Breon Brady at 6'6", led the top 10 in the country in rebounding. So he's not really overly sold on just length, because he's an old-fashioned type dude. He's not really.
But he likes length in terms of wingspan.
But it's just like he's more.
If you can be 6'8" or 6'9" and be 7.5 feet wide, that's a lot bigger deal to him.
He's more concerned with the heart that you have. And I feel like that wins a lot more basketball games than a guy having big hands and having long arms, So
I think a lot of 7-footers maybe can't move well enough on defense for this team.
If you remember, Taco
especially on
Fall
pick and roll.
was a 7-foot guy, and he struggled in a lot of ways. I mean, you would think that guy is going to the NBA and is going to make a ton of money, and you know, it just didn't work out quite that way.
It's like his greatest weapon is his greatest weakness.
Yeah, there. Look at you.
Yeah,
You're a poet.
yeah. I spend a lot of time with Coach.
You're E.E. Cummings, is what you are.
None of these things are mine. These are all stolen from the Book of Kelvin.
That's fine. Nothing is original.
Facts.
It just isn't. We're all taken from somebody. Galen Robinson, number 1. Corey Davis, 1A. Really like that guy. New Orleans boy. South Louisiana boy. People are saying horrible things on the internet about me, and I don't like it. Yes, I did say Frenchies. Thanks, Nate. Nate Rowland's my guy. Love that guy.
Rare, medium rare, all the way.
You guys. Okay. All right.
You need an interpreter for these comments, man.
The Frenchies is what will kill you. Frenchies, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Starns, where'd we go to dinner Thursday night after practice?
Frenchie's Chicken.
We went to Frenchies. Friday at lunch, I took Brad Towns, and we went to Frenchies. We went to Guy V and toured the whole thing, and then went to Frenchies. And I didn't have Frenchies last night. I had to go to way up in the suburbs, and I'm going to have a steak tonight. But it's just not a bad way to live.
Not a bad way.
I'm really happy.
It sounds like it's really good to be you, Ryan. Frenchies, steak. Damn.
I'm going to tell you something.
Damn, brother.
I would usually say that it's not really good to be me. But maybe it is. Maybe I've gotten it wrong all this time. And I mean, I keep the weight okay. I work out. I try to not be a complete old man. And Andy Giannis is have to support one of my sort of boss employers and a big supporter of your basketball team, Andy. I am like the Tillman Fertitta of Yes Prep basketball. And
what's the record these days?
Yeah, how's your record, Andy? How's number 4? I love that kid. Thoughts on UT LSU? So I got to that game middle of the first half, and I talked to people and was schmoozing and trying to do all the things I'm not good at. And I looked up, and LSU's down 25 or something. And, I'm an LSU guy. I was there for Shaq and Stanley Roberts and some really good teams. And then some pretty bad teams. And it just wasn't interesting. I mean, they're getting killed. And I don't think Texas played that well. I don't think anybody played defense in that game. But then LSU chipped back and chipped, and then they kind of got screwed by the refs. And I'm not a big screw with the refs guy, but sometimes they take it out of your hands.
Yeah,
but this LSU team is not good.
I personally don't think LSU is good, and I feel like I could speak on it because one of my best friends, he's like on the staff there. But in terms of the officiating, I will say that our game was probably the best officiated game I've seen.
It was pretty clean. The second half, especially. A&M shot a lot more free throws than U of H, but
it's like they were fouls. Like
they were
for sure. Like it was not a biased whistle.
I'm a big fan of getting to the last minute, and there's only 4 fouls on you because the team can't just foul and put you at the line. But you screwed up on an inbound. Can you explain this rule to me, Galen? Because my understanding is not perfect on this. There are certain stay here, don't move. You have to inbound it here. And then after a made shot, you can kind of go.
Yeah. So on the baseline, after you make a shot, you have the freedom to move. If it's like only after a made shot though. But if it's like a dead ball and you inbound it from the baseline, you can't move. And on the sideline, you can never move.
Never move, right?
Never move.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just like the fact that like the ref caught that, because when Dame moved, like I didn't see it. And they showed the replay, and it's like he moved like 5 feet. And I was like, damn, yeah, that was a suit. Like, there's no denying that. Like, you can't say, like, oh, damn, that's a bad call. It's like, no, brother.
Well, and it was weird because it was the guy across the court.
Yeah. He had the best view.
And I thought he was saying that he stepped on the line. I was like, how the hell are you calling? But then when you looked, it was like, oh, yeah, that happened.
I remember, like, the camera zoomed on Dame, and I read his up. He was like, yeah, I moved. I'm like, they showed the replay. I'm like, yeah, you did move.
You did. Taco Fall did beat U of H. I think it was the first loss at Fertitta. It was the day College Game Day was in the house, and y'all pooped the bed.
Yeah.
You really did. But there's not been a lot of losses in that building since.
I remember that game. I had like a bad fall, and like I remember not knowing where I was. Like it was like I really shouldn't have played, actually. But then like I passed all the protocol tests, and then I remember John Houston, the trainer, he had asked me like, Galen, what day of the week is it? And I just took a guess, and I was right. And I was like, damn, thank God I'm gonna be able to play. But like I passed all the protocol stuff, but it's like looking back, I was like, bro, how did I even end up here? Like I was just like, damn. Man, that was a bad day for Cougar basketball. And yeah, I remember that.
It was a February game, and U of H was playing at Minute Maid in the there went Galen. Never touch your camera. Never touch your camera, because the only thing that can happen is bad. U of H was playing baseball at Minute Maid, and y'all were at Fertitta. So we went to College Game Day, and then it was a later game. So College Game Day ends at 11. We went to Minute Maid, watched baseball, and came back and saw y'all. And it was complete failure all around. I think lost the baseball, lost the basketball. But Game Day was a pretty cool experience.
Definitely was.
Galen, answer this question. Where is Corey now?
Corey is in Europe right now. I think he's in Spain.
That ain't bad.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
okay.
Corey doing all right for sure. Yeah.
Would you prefer to play in Europe like you did last year in France, or play in the league you're in now, in the G League?
That's a great question, man.
That's all I do, baby. I just ask you great questions.
I feel like being abroad is like you're in a foreign country. You get to see a new way of life. It's a lot of new stuff, and I do feel like everybody should go abroad once in their life, because it's just like a different experience. You just see like everybody. Like I remember in games in France, everybody smoked cigarettes, and I remember
inside.
No, not inside. But it's like at halftime during the game, we come back in, and everybody will step out for a halftime smoke, and they'll bring the smoke back in, and it's like a little white cloud. It's just like, damn, like y'all couldn't stay out. Like y'all couldn't wait till after the game. Like now we gotta breathe that. Now we gotta breathe that in. But
if you watch videos from the NBA, like in the 70s, when people were smoking in the arena, like MSG, all you see is smoke. You can't even see the overhead. So, and you were in a part of France, kind of in the Alps, and it just snowed. I mean, the whole time you were there, it was just
it didn't snow. It was just super cold.
Like that's not fun.
Yeah, but in Germany, it was snowing like crazy. For sure. I miss Frenchies. Aw.
Me too. And I had it yesterday. Andy Yanez says that his team is 3-5 overall and 2-1 in the district, which is great. We saw his team lose by 50 points. So
damn, Ryan.
Well, I'm just saying. It was his first game coaching. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. No. We're 54 minutes into this. I'm going to talk. I'm going to give you truth. Andy Yanez had been a coach for 13 seconds, and he called timeout. And it was the most amazing. Awesome. It was the ballsiest thing I've ever seen, but also what the hell are you doing, son? Yeah. But they set up in a defense he wasn't ready for, and he called timeout to fix it, and he did not fix it.
Well, he said he was telling them that they were going to press. They pressed, and the kids weren't ready for it, so he called a timeout.
Okay, well,
Sounds like
whatever.
good coaching to me, man. Call the time. I'll let your guys regroup. Shout out to you, Andy.
Yeah,
Shut up.
I guess. And so go Coogs.com, which is our website. You should subscribe on YouTube and Facebook and just the website in general. But Andy had a need for basketballs for his program. And I was like, sure, we'll buy you a basketball. He's like, we need 3. I'm like, sure, we'll buy you 3. And I was like, what's that, like $30?
It's like 300.
And he was like, and he sent me him. It's like $90 for a basketball. And I had this is how old I am, Galen. I had no idea. I'm like an old man trying to give somebody a quarter. Like, here you go, son.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. But
Basketball is
happy we were able to get this team to 3-5 overall. Yeah, let's see. There's no game tomorrow. Off day. Galen, Andy wants to know, what do you think about Willie Fritz?
He gives me like Coach Sampson vibes in his own way. He just seems like a really good teacher to me. Like as far as like the stuff he was saying and how he's going about, just his demeanor, I guess. I definitely have high, and I'm very hopeful that we're gonna have a good football team in the years to come with under his leadership. But he definitely seems like somebody that I wouldn't mind playing for based on what I've seen from him. Like, and he says something, and I think one of his pressers that Coach Sampson he said for years, and I was just like, damn, this brother might know his stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Andy.
Yeah, that Andy. Okay, so let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. Starns, what were your overall thoughts for the day, what you saw, and going forward?
Good win. Good to get a win. It's the best team they played, and they pulled it out. There are definitely things that tighten up, but it's good to have this type of game now. This type of game like Xavier, this A&M game, like those type of games now, especially as you're 2 weeks away from a gauntlet, and that's sort of the main takeaway. Losing Terrence Arsenault is a big deal.
Yeah.
I think this team has
very, very, very big deal.
Good depth to respond from it that I think last year's team probably didn't. But I think what'll be interesting to see in the next, however many games is who's going to step up and be the, I think, 8th guy, who's going to be, or the 7th guy, whether it's Ramon, who can play, I think, some of that 4 in those 4-guard lineups, or maybe Malik Wilson.
Malik did not play today, did he?
He did not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think what you better
say? Great seeing the Godfather.
Huh,
You're just gonna have to embrace that people love calling you that.
Hey, that's a cool. I just need a cigar and a nice, comfortable couch. That's a cool nickname, though. But I think like A&M is a lot similar to Memphis, to where like they're just kind of, it's just chaotic.
Yeah,
it seems like it's more than 5 guys on the floor, and those types of like getting big leads against teams like that, they typically don't last because usually there's slippage by the team that's up and they're chaotic. They just come back, So, but I'm definitely glad we're able to get the dub, and I'm definitely glad that we're able to learn from winning. And I definitely think, because this is indicative of how typically a lot of Big 12 games are going to go. It's going to be down to the wire dogfights. No team is ever out of the fight, So I definitely think this was a good test for us in terms of us being prepared to play in the Big 12. But I'm definitely excited to see us in the Big 12, just seeing us against the teams like Kansas and Kansas State and, all those teams that we have marveled over the years. It's good to see how we are going to measure up to him.
Yeah. So if you were to meet with Kelvin right now, what would he tell you they learned from this game?
I'd say a lot of times ball clubs, they tend to preach the message of being together when it's convenient and when there's nothing going on. But it's like when you're in an environment like that in a Toyota Center playing against a scrappy good team and being able to withstand, a team coming back from down 21 and tying the game, it's easy to crumble and it's easy to fall victim to the crowd and the momentum shift, things of that nature. You got Coach Sampson kind of beating you down a little bit, get back in line, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that like the togetherness of the team and their ability to kind of hone in and still be able to make plays down the stretch, guys still shoot with confidence. I do think that's a big deal. So I do think the message is I'm proud of you guys' togetherness, and I'm glad you guys were able to gut it out down the stretch because at the end of the day, good, bad, or indifferent, pretty or ugly, the bottom line is to win. Go 1-0 for the day, and that's what we did, and the mission was accomplished. So I do think that'll be his message, but who knows? Coach Sampson, he's an unpredictable guy.
Yeah. From covering this program for as long as I have, I mean, I covered your dad,
That's
and that's like I talk about being elderly and being old, but that's what really makes me feel old is that I
Yeah.
covered your father. And I've never heard a team, whether in basketball or any other sport, where the guys are so focused not on stats, not on did we look good, not on growth, winning. And it's all about winning. And I had a eureka moment for myself recently talking to Kelvin. And it's like, oh, I've heard you say it's all about winning, win, win. But I realized that that's the most important thing in life to me is winning. Like this website, what we do, I want to win. I want to be the best. And I had never put it together like that. But Kelvin has made you all realize this at a young age that it's all about winning. You just do whatever you have to do to be a helper to other people. And if it's your day to shine, great. And if it's not, I'm going to go. And I mean, Jawan Roberts did not come here to get 7 assists. He just didn't.
Yeah.
But it was today's plan, and he did it great, and the team won. And that's all that matters. Beating a school like A&M in basketball typically has not mattered that much. But where they are in terms of resources compared to where this program is, it's night and day. And so it should be celebrated. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, there were recruits that came down to A&M and U of H, and it was like neck and neck, and you didn't know where they were getting. And I don't remember who that was specifically. Man, I can't remember. And it was a pretty big deal, and U of H got it. And it was like, okay, you're winning that recruiting battle. And now you think you should win every recruiting battle against A&M. And that's just crazy to say.
Yeah.
So my takeaway is that the whole point of this program and everything in this program and everything y'all build to and work on is to win. And I think Xavier came back and tied the game, and maybe Utah, somebody else did. And you just never felt like the game had slipped out of reach.
Yeah, I never really felt like we were gonna lose.
No.
If that made sense.
I mean, that's
I don't know
the
if it's I don't
craziest
know
thing.
what it is. Yeah, but it's just like
Because you expect the guys that play in this program to deliver.
yeah, I guess so.
And they do. And I mean, there was some tension in the arena, and when Emmanuel hits that big three, obviously it popped. But I don't think anybody ever thought that U of H was losing this game.
Yeah.
You're not happy how it crumbled. You're not happy that you were at the rim and you took 12 shots in one possession. and missed them all somehow. It looked like the bubble that y'all play with on the top of the rim.
Yeah.
But you never felt like you were in trouble. And that's a testament to what Kelvin and Kellen and that staff has built.
I would say he's made the program like attractive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's in the city of Houston. You got the entire coaching staff is wearing Jordans. Obviously, kids, everybody knows what Jordans are and their significance, and the pedestal that they're put on. Um, it's just and we win. You know, we go out there, we play hard. How we bully people, we impose our will. Like with the guy John Ross, no mercy. That's the simplest way to put it. Is no mercy. Really though, like there are times like I get bored, I go back and watch our old games, and it's just like, damn, we really did used to bully the hell out of people. Like as small, as undersized as we were, we really used to bully people. So but it hats off to Coach Sam for making the program attractive. You know, we got all these new facilities in the city of Houston. Everything that you can want in the basketball program. And it's like even in the summer, you got guys such as myself, Nate, Aubrey Coleman, just to say the least, Rob, Greg, Core, we're all back at the facility.
Yeah.
And like it's all the door is always open for guys who play for the program. So it's just like it's definitely something cool to be a part of.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us today. We just did an hour and 6 minutes on this game. That's pretty cool. I thought this was going to be like 10 or 15 minutes. Great questions and comments. Y'all are making this a lot of fun.
I ain't
Medium
gonna lie,
rare.
man, I appreciate you for having me, man. God damn. I appreciate it, Ron. This is actually pretty cool.
Isn't it
This is
fun?
pretty cool. Man, it really is. Like feel like I'm a part of something. Love my alma mater, man.
You're the point guard for this whole thing. And we're just gonna give you the ball and let you distribute it, and we'll just see how it goes. So Thursday night, Texas State, and then you go into the holiday, and then who's next? Penn? I don't remember.
And on the
And
30th.
then you eventually you get the conference play at some point.
Who's
And
a Big 12 opener against
West Virginia, I believe,
at the crib?
at home.
Mm.
And then you
it's
go to
2 road
Iowa
games.
State, and is it
TCU?
TCU? Yeah. So you go to Iowa State midweek, and I might be the only person there, but I'll be there. And then we go to Fort Worth just after that, and then Provo not long after that, and you're just right into it. And so we'll see. And I'm excited to see what this team does. And is there a hangover Thursday, or are you ready to go? And typically this team is ready to go after a second half performance like you saw. So we'll figure it out. Thank you all so much for watching. GoCougs.com, thedailycougar.com, and the Birmingham Squadron, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. And
right,
we'll see you soon. Galen, peace.